IK*LL people. I mentioned this story in a comment on another post and thought I may as well add in the details and make it my first post to this subreddit. And #X200B. This takes place in a fairly large city, roughly 8 or so years ago. I'm female and at the time I was in my mid-20s. There used to be a gay bar that did goth nights every Saturday night and I would head out there fairly often with my friends. This night there was a group of about 5 of us that went together, plus we always ran into more people we knew once we got there. At some point I left my friends on the dance floor and went up to the bar to get another drink. It was pretty crowded, so the only space I could squeeze into was next to some guy on a bar stool at the very end of the counter. I ordered my drink and he looked over and said hello. And #X200B. He had a pretty interesting accent, so I asked him where he was from. He replied that he was originally from Ethiopia. We made small talk as I was waiting for my drink and I commented that I had a neighbor as a child that was from Ethiopia as well. The exact details of the conversation are a bit hazy. It was years ago after all, and to be fair I wasn't paying super close attention at the time. So I'm not sure how the conversation went in this direction, but I do remember his words snapping my brain's focus back onto him. IK* led people there. And #X200B. Oh. Well. I awkwardly chuckled, thinking maybe this was just some weird drunk guy thinking he would say weird, creepy things to the goth girl at the bar. Maybe it was his really bad attempt at flirting? My drink arrived and I remember stirring it and trying to ease my way out of the conversation, but I was still waiting for my change. You used to IK*LL people? He shook his head and replied casually, no, I still do. And #X200B. Aha! My change could not arrive fast enough. I tried another awkward laugh and made some snarky comment about how I was fat and if he tried to IK*LL me I'd fight back and sit on him. I don't know. I mean, I had no idea what to say in this situation. Again, casually, without any emotion in his voice, he replied, there's no trying. If I decide to IK*LL someone, I IK*LL them. My change finally arrived and I took my drink, which I had not let leave my hand or line of sight for an instant, excused myself and headed back over to my friends on the dance floor. I watched as he turned on his stool so he could keep an eye on me. He just sat there, sipping his own drink, never looking away. Finally at some point I saw him put down his empty glass and move out the front door. I sighed in relief and continued on to enjoy my night. And #X200B. Several hours later the goth night was ending and the next theme DJ was taking over. My friends and I were saying our goodbyes and I started walking to the front door. I turned around to see the friend that had given me a ride was stuck in a conversation with another acquaintance, so I waited near the door, just inside the building. That's when he grabbed me. And #X200B. The guy from the bar dragged me in farther, into a dark corner out of line of the exit. I was in shock and couldn't make a sound at first as he pinned me to the wall, face pressed against it, and he twisted one of my arms behind my back. It seemed like an eternity he held me there, pushing himself up firmly behind me, almost like he was trying to hide me in even more shadows. There were no lights near us and no reason for anyone to walk by this corner. Even if I yelled, I wasn't sure if anyone would hear me since the DJ had started up. Somehow I managed to shove myself back against him once my fight instincts kicked in. In his surprise his grip loosened just a bit and the angle he held me at relaxed and I managed to shove my fist against his B*LLS. I have no idea to this day how I actually bent myself around in just the right way, but he doubled over and I ran. I grabbed my friend out of her conversation and breathlessly gave a Cliff Notes version of what happened as I dragged her to the back emergency exit. And #X200B. Before I could escape I was stopped by security. He told me I couldn't go that way and had to leave through the front of the bar. I tried to explain to him that there was a guy up there that had tried to attack me, but he wouldn't listen, or just tuned it out or thought I was some drunk girl. Thankfully my friend and I managed to get the attention of a few other people we knew and we headed out the front as a group. I didn't see the guy anywhere, but I was terrified of getting through the dark parking lot to the car. I just knew he could be out there hiding somewhere. My friend and I ran as fast as we could, dove into the car, and she pulled out of the parking space before I could even get my seatbelt on. Creeper dude was nowhere to be seen. And hashtag X200B. I checked the news the next day to see if there had been any other attacks or, God forbid, writers in the area, but there was nothing. I don't really remember much of his features, or what he was wearing or how he sounded, but I will never forget the emotionless, blank, matter-of-fact way he stated that he led people and the way his dark eyes stared at me like I was prey. And hashtag X200B. I never went back to that bar.